The Center for Disease Control says that 28% of San Antonians are clinically obese, making us the third fattest city in America. Well, I'm about to get inside the Texas Bariatric Specialist, where Dr. Patel and his life-changing crew are truly making a difference. Dr. Patel, how long have you been a bariatric surgeon, and why did you choose to specialize in weight loss surgery?
I've been a bariatric surgeon for about 5 years now, and I think it's been one of the most rewarding things that I've ever learned how to do. When you're a general surgery resident, you get taught how to do lots and lots of different types of surgeries, but I don't think that there's any other operation that a surgeon can do that provides the different benefits that weight loss surgery provides. It has two of the greatest characteristics for surgery in general, I think. One, it gives you back quantity of life, but number two, it gives you back quality of life. When you put those two things together, you're able to realize that you're not only just saving lives, but you're able to make dreams come true every day by changing people's lifestyles and making them be able to do things that they always dreamt about doing but couldn't do. Things could be huge, like not being a diabetic anymore, or being able to walk on the beach with your grandbabies. And it could also be simpler things, like being able to cross your legs, or tie your shoes, or do different things on a day-to-day basis. To make those things happen every day for a person is huge, and that's the reason why I chose to do bariatric surgery as my primary focus in medicines.
It's very apparent that you have a passion to give people back their life. Who exactly is a candidate for this surgery?
You know, there's two ways of looking at weight loss surgery. One would be just from a pure doctor standpoint, and there's well-set criteria by insurance companies and national standards as far as who can have weight loss surgery. And the two biggest things we look at is what your body mass index is and what kind of medications you take. If your body mass index, which is a ratio of your height and weight, is 40 or higher, you automatically qualify for weight loss surgery. And that in general equates to about 100 pounds over ideal body weight. Patients who are a little less heavy, with maybe being 60 to 70 pounds overweight, can also qualify by insurance if you take medications related to obesity or have disease conditions related to obesity, like diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, or sleep apnea. The other way of looking at weight loss surgery is a preventative way. Some people wanted to dumb it down and say it's cosmetic, but really it's preventative medicine. And when we look at preventative medicine, it's in those patients who have maybe 50, 60 pounds to lose, aren't taking very many medications yet, but know what their future holds when you look at what mom and dad have had or what their brothers and sisters have had and don't want to get there. And I think that it's pretty responsible for a patient to look in the mirror and say, hey, I should do something now before it gets me. Because when we look at the risk of weight loss surgery, it's only going to go higher if you allow yourself to wait to be 100 pounds overweight. And the patients who consider preventative surgery, if you will, really need to have tried every other diet they possibly could have and understand that they're making a dramatic lifestyle change that's going to really require big behavioral changes in order for you to be successful. So it shouldn't be taken lightly, but at the same time, it is a very good way of being able to prevent things from happening in the future.
Well, what would you describe the procedure as for somebody that hasn't heard about it, seen it? Everybody's heard about it, but maybe seen it or understand it. What would you describe it as?
You know, if you come into a seminar for surgery, we can go through all of the semantics of the actual surgery. You know, it really, there's three options for weight loss surgery mainstream right now: the laparoscopic gastric bypass, the laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy, the laparoscopic adjustable gastric band. All three of them are good options. They all have a lot of different ins and outs of them, if you will. There's lots of pros and cons that you have to balance out when you choose this operation. We're going to help you with that. We're going to be able to tell you what insurance will or won't let you do. We're going to tell you what kind of changes you're going to have to make for one versus the other and the strengths and weaknesses of it. But if I were going to give you one takeaway message as far as what weight loss surgery is, instead of thinking about the mechanical aspects of surgery and what I'm doing in the operating room, let's talk about what we're going to do for the rest of your life. My description for weight loss surgery is that it's a lifelong, permanent commitment to behavioral change. So you put that set of words together and it describes one of the most important decisions of your life. And when you do it, you're going to reap the benefits that you couldn't imagine that you would ever have before. And you're also going to be stressed out because of the fact that you made an enormous decision. In my seminars, when I talk about weight loss surgery and describe it as such, a lifelong permanent commitment to behavioral change, we're talking about things like getting married or having a baby. Both of those are lifelong, permanent commitments to behavioral change. Any of the things that you would think about before you got married, any of the things that you would think about being successful after you're married, all apply to being successful for weight loss surgery and the decisions that are required to be made before you go and have weight loss surgery. Because there's going to be days that you just can't imagine that you got married You should have never gotten married, you think, you know. And then there's other days they sit there going, man, I wish I had met her 10 years ago. I couldn't imagine my life without her. And so these ups and downs are the same that you're going to see with weight loss surgery. But these things don't happen on let's say, weekend basis when you're struggling with your wife to say whether or not you can or can't watch the Super Bowl. But it's on a daily basis because you're reminded of where you came from and where you want to go every time you pick up a fork, every time you walk into a restaurant, every time you go through the supermarket and make decisions on a day-to-day basis.
I know a big question people have about the surgery is insurance. Is it covered by insurance?
Sure. 90% of the work that we do is all through insurance. And so we specialize in it. We're going to be able to verify your benefits for you. All you have to do is register online or call our office, tell us this is who you have. Many times we can make a spot decision because the choice or the probability of having insurance coverage is not based upon the name of your insurance company. Almost every insurance company covers weight loss surgery, but whether or not you have the benefit for weight loss surgery is based upon who your employer is. The larger, the more powerful the employer, the more likely it is to be covered. So KCI, Time Warner, AT&T, they cover the operation. Mom and pop shops don't cover the operation because they can't afford to have the benefit. And so these things are going to be an individualized thing, and there's different rules of engagement. So once the insurance company says, yes, we may pay for it, the may is defined by all these different hoops that you have to jump through, and we help walk you through that as well. So one of the things that a lot of patients come into my office when they go to other doctors' offices and kind of sort of migrate over to us is because they're tired of registering and then not hearing back from the doctor's office. And in our office, all you have to do is get onto your online portal, and it really gives you just a step-by-step timeline of where you're at. You don't have to wait on the phone or wait for somebody to call you back. It says right there on the computer what the missing pieces are and what our status is in terms of trying to get you approved. So these things are important because you wait 2 years to make the decision for weight loss surgery, and we facetiously say all of a sudden now it's an emergency to get it done. No, it's not, but we understand that you're emotionally ready to go, and we're very sensitive to that to be able to make sure that we take care of you on an individualized basis.
Well, doctor, thank you for caring about so many people's lives.
It's easy when you love to do it.
Jennifer, you've been a patient of Dr. Patel for how long?
A year and 4 months.
And why did you decide to come to him?
I had seen several of my friends, close friends, had weight loss surgery and had come to him for weight loss surgery. So I came to one of his seminars and learned about him and his team here that he has in the office, and got a little bit more interested. Looked into my insurance, and my insurance ended up covering the surgery. So no more of a reason not to have it done.
And were the results pretty immediate? I mean, do you mind talking about how much you lost?
I've lost 144 pounds. The results are immediate. You must stick to the diet, post-operative diet afterwards, and now it's a maintenance, keeping up with your protein intake, your water, and your exercise. He's got great support groups that I attend that help me stay motivated. And if anyone is interested in having the surgery, I am a perfect person to talk to because I have had nothing but success with it. And I am a new woman because of it.
Well, you look fantastic. You
Thanks.
look absolutely beautiful.
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure you were beautiful before, but it's definitely given you a skip in your step. I can tell.
I'm glad I didn't have it before I turned 40. I had it a couple months after I had turned 40, so I feel like this is my second chance at life. I had gotten to the point where I was embarrassed to go places. I became withdrawn, couldn't go to a Spurs game, was unable to sit in the chair, unable to go on vacations because I didn't want to get on the plane because I couldn't fit in the plane. I'd have to take up more than just my seat. And when they passed the law that you might have to pay for another seat, that became a little anxiety for me, and so I became withdrawn. And when I met and found his team, Dr. Patel and his team, it was heaven sent. Thank you, Dr. Patel.